local man is in a dispute with the city of Warren over his artwork.
He says it's on his property. It's his right. They say it's in violation of a city ordinance. Let's get to Jamie Edmonds to explain what's happening here. Jamie?
Good evening, Devin. I'm here in Warren. This is Michael Esser's garage, or rather the side of it. To any of us, it really just looks like a teal wall, but to Esser and his girlfriend, who are artists, this is a blank slate for them to practice their craft.
The first picture that we drew under this wall was a mural or tribute to a movie.
Last year, this is what the side of Michael Esser's garage in Warren looked like. The graffiti artist, who goes by the name of Juice,
This is it right here,
would call it a masterpiece. So it was a surprise when he got a notice from the city last June.
Then we got a notice from the city of Warren saying that we are in violation of their ordinance when it comes to dealing with blight.
In its letter, the city argues defacement of property. The IMPC rule states, quote, willfully or wantonly damage, mutilate, or deface.
I can't deface my own property.
A month later, Esser got a letter from the city spelling out 3 different violations, including having an image using graphics or letters to communicate a message or attract attention.
See, the thing is, if I would have painted pretty flowers on here or an American flag, nobody would have had an issue with it, and this would have never happened. But it's because somebody doesn't like it, doesn't justify or give them the rights to stop me from doing it.
Esser says this has been a year-long, expensive legal fight. Right now, the garage is clear. But for this artist, who's been commissioned by neighborhood groups and even painted outside the DIA, he can't understand why he can't practice his craft in the privacy of his own backyard.
It's the principle. The bottom line is this is my property. We're in America, this is Michigan.
Now, I did try and get in contact with the city of Warren. I called, I also emailed. I did talk to briefly Dean James. He's the Division of Building and Safety Engineering. He said I had to talk to the city attorney. I left a message there, and I didn't hear back as of airtime. I just wanted to show you, this is the backyard. There's a fence right here and a neighbor right here who hasn't been home, so I couldn't talk to the neighbor. But according to Esser, this neighbor here with the awning is fine with his artwork. So I know a lot of artists are interested in this story and how this whole thing plays out with the city when this is private property. Live in Warren, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
It's inspiring a lot of conversations around.
Yeah, he did make a point about if you like it or you don't.
Quite an
like
issue,
it.
yeah. All right, Jamie.